everyone, my name is Eric Hopkins, aka JEL, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem was released not too long ago, and I finally got a chance to watch it with my family. And I gotta say, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't my favorite turtle interpretation that they've ever done, but I'll get into that in just a second. However, I do think it was much better than the Michael Bay versions. I just never could understand the point of having 8 foot tall bulletproof turtles. But anyway, I digress. I will give that movie, or at least those movies, a little bit of credit because they at least tried to introduce Krang and Bebop and Rocksteady. So at least they tried to do that. But other than that, I just felt like they were just kind of pointless. But me as a child of the early to mid '80s to early '90s, I obviously grew up with the original animated show from the '80s and of course the '90s feature films, which I thought still to this day are the best Ninja Turtle interpretation or adaptations, I should say, that we've gotten so far. But we now officially have the release date for the sequel to Mutant Mayhem, which wasn't too bad, all things considered. I definitely liked how they definitely became more teenagers, and they've always tried to do that, but I just felt like they really brought out the teenager aspect of this, how they wanted to go to school and be normal kids. They felt like they were alone because they had to be in the sewers all the time. That is definitely a big part of the Ninja Turtle lore, and I definitely appreciated, which minor spoiler alert here, but I liked how the movie ended, and it was a little bit different than any other adaptation we'd seen before, where the turtles actually were accepted among the humans and were allowed to go to school. So I'm very interested to see where they take that. But it's now been reported that Ninja Turtles 2, I guess you could call it, or whatever they're going to call it, is going to be hitting theaters on October 9th, 2026. So, a little over 2 years away. And obviously, at the end of the last movie, they definitely hinted at the return of the Shredder. So hopefully, we'll get a little bit of that and maybe some news on who's going to be voicing that character. But before then, we're going to be getting the Ninja Turtles Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series that is going to be set to be debuting on Paramount Plus this summer in 2024, with all the cast members coming back from the movie. Now, the animation style is going to be a little bit different, as you can see here, but at the same time, I feel like it's going to be able to fill the gap between the first film and the second. So it sounds like between 2024's debut of this series and the movie at the end of 2026, we could get up to two, maybe even three seasons of this show on Paramount Plus before we get this sequel. But it's just nice to know that we finally have a release date. Animation obviously takes a long time to get going, especially when something is as intricate as this. They definitely took some pointers, looks like, from the Spider-Verse films. They had an animation style that was kind of similar to that, not exact, but kind of similar. A little bit of the 3D animation or whatnot, which I appreciated. That I think the Spider-Verse films kind of have cornered the market on that a little bit. Maybe we shouldn't just try to, emulate them, but that's kind of what Hollywood does. They'll find something that's successful and then they'll try to just continue to do whatever works. So I don't blame them for that. But at least, like I said, this is the best adaptation I've seen since the '90s. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes, especially when it comes, like I said, to the story element that they introduced at the end of the first film. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2? Did you like the first film, or did you just kind of feel like me, where like the '90s and the '80s versions are the best interpretations of these characters that they've ever done? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Take care and God bless.